Good morning, or should I say wakey wakey, or better yet, cockerel doodle do. Hope you are all well. As you know, it's cockerel doodle do where I have my say, and today I'm joined by a very, very special guest, and it's about to be revealed. It's Tottenham Hotspur's very own, the Cough. How are we doing, Cough?
Yeah, having a great day so far. We are on the recovery road. We are back home, and we're back to have a laugh, and that's going to be a very good one today. So I'm
Yeah.
enjoy this rant. I'm in prime position to watch a rant. It's going to be
Yeah,
great.
mate, you're in prime position because obviously I'm not even going to talk about the result. I don't even want to talk about the game. I think we all know what the talking point is at the moment, and it's bravo. Antonio Conte speaks out. Finally, someone has had the balls to say what we have been saying for years and other managers have wanted to say but haven't. We're going to break this down. We're not going to go into the comments. We all know what they are. We're going to give our reflection on certain things. First of all, Ben, what was your thoughts when you've seen or read or saw about this press conference and the attention it's getting?
I was mildly shocked, to be honest. I'm ecstatic that finally someone has done it. We've all been saying it as content creators for years, whether you're this channel or other channels in the area, but no one has really said it inside the horse's mouth, and the horse's mouth has finally said it. A manager has come out and said what the real problem is with the football club, and you can't avoid it now. We're going to have to all talk about it. And a lot of these excuse makers, I've seen them in the comments of other community sections because I see everything. I am the eye of Sauron, the power hungry moderator. And people are saying things like, oh, you're a Conte fan. If you're not a Tottenham fan. No, you are just blind. You need to have glasses as powerful as I have because you cannot see the problem. Someone has finally said it. The club does not want to win. It does not want to back a manager. The players are always at fault because they have thrown multiple managers under the bus, whether it's Nuno, whether it's Pochettino, even Ryan Mason to some degree, and Ndombele tried to throw him under the bus. And now it's Antonio Conte. You cannot have this method of running a football club. And that all stems from the ownership being too lackadaisical, too friendly, too chummy with their employees. Just as an example, you never see the owner of Vodafone eating in the canteen with his employees. You see that at Tottenham. You should never see that. We have a culture where if a player is upset with the manager, he will go directly to Daniel Levy. Danny Rose in the All or Nothing documentary when he was upset with Mourinho. Oh, I'm just going to give Daniel a ring. That is not how you run an organisation. And it's about time the manager finally threw these useless players under the bus because they absolutely deserve it. And mostly, I hope Conte leaves now. I hope he resigns. He wants to sack. We all know he wants to sack to get 10 million for next year as well. I hope he leaves with his head held high. If he leaves, I'm going directly to the Tottenham Hotspur shop and I'm buying a Tottenham shirt with Antonio Conte written on it. Because he's finally said what needs to be said. And I'm all for it.
Well, do you know what? You've come out ranting as well. The two of us, this is going to be a lot of fun. So listen, I can't echo more or say more than what you've just said. You know what? I was going to go to the Southampton game with Ben and Simeon, but something came up and I couldn't go. Didn't even watch the game. Couldn't care. Because I was with my nephews and my niece, and obviously they're priorities. But as soon as that press conference happened, as you can imagine, my social media and WhatsApp went absolutely, it went crazy. And do you know what? I have watched this multiple times, and I've even had you talk about the people that are saying you're a Conte fan or whatever. I even had people say to me, well, Brian, I think you're fine if you listen to it properly. He's calling out the players more than the board. And I said, do you know what? He did, but all he had to say was when he said, 20 years this owner, nothing. Why? That's all. That was the biggest mic drop you'll ever find. I mean, he even got it wrong. We've won one trophy in 22 years, but it's just as embarrassing.
Yeah.
To go, 20 years, nothing, 22 years, one trophy. What's the goddamn difference? We've been in 66 tournaments.
Yeah.
Or not fully 66, 44. Yeah, 66 tournaments in the UK. God knows how many in Europe, opportunities to win tournaments. We've won one. So people want to say 22-1 because he said 20-0. I'm going to throw it back at you and say 66-1. Or maybe 60, coming up to 69-1. So I am delighted. Listen, we all know this has cost him his job. Harry Redknapp did this. We know what happened. Anyone speaks out about this man, off with their head and on to the next one, so I can break his dreams and break promises to him. So that's what I thought of the overall thing. But now we're going to break this down, Ben. You're going to go first every time on this. Obviously, he called out the players. What's your assessment of the players?
We've said it multiple times. This is a workforce, because I'm going to use the word workforce because that's how I'm going to use my analogy. This workforce has multiple different philosophies under it. We've got the Pochettino players like Eric Dyer and Ben Davies and Harry Kane and Son Heung-min. We've got the Jose Mourinho players of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Mark discovers. Then we got Nuno's players like Romero and players he bought, and now we've got Conte's players. Like whoever, Porro and Bentancur and Kulusevski. This is not a united workforce. You cannot have that at an organisation and expect it to work. Every single player needs to be on the same sentence, not the same page, the same sentence if it's going to work. And it doesn't work because some players want to play attacking football because that's why they came to the club, Pochettino. Some players like Romero want to be quite defensive and be organised and be lunatics. Some players want to be Højbjergs and just do this and do that. We need to have what Arsenal have. And I'm going to use Arsenal as the perfect example because what Arteta has done is utterly brilliant. All the players that were causing him a problem, he went to his line manager, which is Edu, and he said, these players are a problem for me, get them out. And he got rid of them. So they have a united workforce. Only 2 of the players in their squad didn't play for Arteta. That is what every organisation needs. When you've got multiple different sects of the workforce, all working in a different motive, it's never going to work. And that is the major problem. In terms of their performance, they are spineless. Eric Dyer blaming everyone but himself. His comments after the game, blaming the attackers. They scored 3 goals. Most of the time, he scored 3 goals. The reason we didn't win is because we conceded 3 goals. And that's down to them. So for him, as usual, Eric Pointer, Dyer by name, Dyer by nature, always blaming everyone else but himself. He is the facet of the problem. We've conceded more goals than players like Crystal Palace. I was on the stream a couple of weeks ago, and we saw that Crystal Palace concede less goals than us. And so I said, I would rather have their defence. And people would say, they're 12th. Where would Tottenham be without Eric Dyer, Son Heung-min, Dejan Kulusevski? We would be in a relegation battle because of how bad our defence and our backup midfield is. So they're spineless. They're blaming everyone else but themselves. So for people to say Conte is blaming everyone else but themselves, the workforce are doing it as well. Then you've got Porro. I like Porro. Porro scored a decent goal. You've got Perisic, who should not be playing every single game. And again, it's the facet of the problem. We have turned an elite level player who's won everything wherever he's been into a terrible footballer. It's happened again. It's the antithesis of Tottenham. We turn brilliant players into losers. The whole team does not work. Great reset is needed. Every single player out from 1 to 11, out the door, new squad in. Bring in a new team that's under one banner that has one idea. One vision. It's Queen. Bring back Freddie Mercury. One man, one soul, one vision. That's what we need. Instead of 5 different camps. Oh, I want to play attacking football. I want to do this. I want to do that. And that's the players are culpable. And we cannot just blame the managers every time because they've Pochettino's era. We were awful the last 12 months away from home. Has much ever changed? No, it hasn't. We're still crap away from home. We're still terrible in big games. And that comes down to the players on the pitch. And it comes down to the owner as well as the manager. The manager is to blame for his tactics. But if you're not given the tools to do your job, you can't ever do the job. And that, for me, that's me analysing it.
So, do you know what? Before I even get into my rant, there's something that you said which just shows the state of where we are as a club and as a fan base. You mentioned that you'd rather have the Crystal Palace defence.
Yeah.
So would I. Especially the Joachim Andersen, who we've tried or apparently been linked with 3 times, but haven't paid the money for. And then you get people saying, well, we'd be in a relegation fight with that. What about that? They're not seeing it. If you put the Crystal Palace defence that is better than us with the Tottenham Hotspur attack, which is the 3rd best in the league. But no, let's say defence. Oh no, Palace are in a relegation struggle. We're struggling for top 4 because we can't defend. They're struggling to stay in the league because they can't score. It's that simple. That's where we are as a fan base. When fan bases turn around and say that to you, Ben, when they say, I don't want Palace's defence because they're in a relegation struggle, they're not in a relegation struggle because of their defence.
They're not doing bad.
Yeah, they're not in a relegation struggle because of their defence. Now my turn on the players. Now, I'm going to be very, very straight to the point here and direct. These players are gutless, spineless, pathetic, shambolic, embarrassing. Not all of them, a majority of them. These players are paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, millions a year to do their job. And repeatedly, whoever the manager is, they fucking let them down. Every single time. And why they let them down? Because they know they can just go, oh, we don't like this manager. Oh, his training is too hard and we don't like it. And then leave you go, oh, I'm sorry, are we hurting your feelings? Let me put you in that cotton wool bed and wrap you up a bit more. Manager who's won things, elite things, go. Piss off. Because this is what happens every single time with these players. These players throw managers under the bus time after time after time again. As you said, Ben, we still have players from God knows how long ago. And then the worst thing to prove how bad this is, even before this press conference yesterday, there's huge rumours that are more than rumours, we all know, of Eric Dyer signing a new contract. We don't even know who the manager is and if the manager wants them. But hey-ho, let's give him a contract because it's cheaper to renew than it is to get rid of and sign. These players, let's have a look at it. In the last 2 away games, we went to Wolves. We went to 3 games. Let's say Sheffield United as well. Best chance to win in the cup. Fucked it up. Don't care about the squad rotation. Yeah, it was wrong. Those players should be enough to beat a Sheffield United team that have made 8 changes because they're trying to get into the Premier League. Easiest run we could have had into the FA Cup semi-final and possibly final. Players, let us down. Away to Wolves. Newcastle slip up at Manchester City. You go and win that game, we're 7 points clear in 4th and a bit of a cushion. That's what it is, a 7-point cushion to stay exactly where you are and what our club's target is. Spineless. Then, somehow, by a miracle, we go into this away game yesterday, knowing we could go into the international break in 3rd. And what happens? Oh, a bit of pressure. I can't handle it. I can't take it. And buckle. We're coming on to Conte soon, but these players should be ashamed of themselves. And I see so many people going, oh, if I was Højbjerg and Kane and Son, when I see him in the training ground on Monday, I'll be going for him. I'll go out swinging. Truth hurts. Truth bloody hurts. And now you have a manager that is speaking out about you and calling you out for exactly what you are. So, like I said, Ben's going into more detail. I'm going to be explosive because I'm sick to the back of the teeth of this. Now we come on to bravo, Antonio Conte. Bravo, Antonio Conte. Your thoughts, Ben?
I'm going to preface the point with this is the wrong employee for the wrong organisation, and it should never be that way. Wherever this manager has gone, he's said, I need this, this, and this, and I'll win you a trophy. And he's done it. This is the wrong manager for a club that wants to be, all right, we're gonna decide how you play, and then you're gonna do it. Fine, you can do that if you're Ajax. Because I want that Ajax model as well. I think we all want that Ajax model. But the Ajax model works because they back their managers with players for the system. We've got a manager who plays his formation, whether you like it or not, whether you hate the football, most people, I don't care. You need to give them tools for them to do their job adequately. And he can't. He is not a miracle worker, except for last year where he got us into the top 4 somehow. Arsenal bottled it. Let's face it, Arsenal bottled it. But in their bottle, they've actually got over that, and they're now proven they're not bottlers anymore. But when we bottle it, we don't do anything. As soon as you fail, you improve to not fail again. We don't have the fear of failure. We see failure as not a problem. It doesn't hurt for them anymore. So wherever the manager is, they're not afraid to fail. This manager hates failure. He hates it. He hates losing with a passion, and you can see that yesterday. Unfortunately, Conte is going to go, and if he goes, I don't care really, because what he's done is he's thrown the grenade. He's started the avalanche, and we should all ride this avalanche because this avalanche is exactly what we need to get things moving. He's proven, or would you say proven? He's shown what the problem is. So I absolutely applaud him for that. But I will ask, why didn't he say this earlier? He should have said this earlier after we went out the FA Cup. He should have said this earlier when we went out the Champions League. The only possible reason he's saying it now is because he knows there's a 2-week international break and he thinks he can get out. So they can find a manager and then they have those 2 weeks to prepare, which is actually quite nice of him, really. The manager is not right for this organisation, but nothing else is right for this organisation. While this boss is in charge of this organisation, no manager, no player, no tea lady, no groundsman is right for the football club. Because this football club is rotten to the core. It's that movie from the 60s. It's rotten to the core. And when we get to the next point, we will go in on what the actual problem is. Part of the problem, but it's not the full problem. And it's time we had a change. And I'm really thankful the manager has said this, but the manager is not right for the football club. All of us can agree on that. But who is right for this football club? So...
Yeah, so first of all, what I'm going to say is, like I said, bravo, Antonio Conte, fucking vo. What you have said is probably the biggest thing to happen for Tottenham Hotspur under Daniel Levy's reign, and I'm including winning the Carabao or Carling Cup, whatever it was called, the Lucas Moura moment, any appointment, any signing, any contract extension. What you have just done, I cannot thank you enough. If it's your last act as Tottenham Hotspur manager, which I believe it will be, or if there is, I think it's going to be more of the same. Thank you. Thank you. One thing that you said, Ben, as well, when you said about doing it sooner, this is just so typical with not with us, and this isn't a bad thing on Conte, but do you remember when the Super League happened and then they postponed the Aston Villa game, the next home game, till nearer the end of the season? That killed any kind of protest that was getting planned. Obviously, I weren't here. It was back in I was back in Toronto during COVID. The timing of this, an international break where it's 2 weeks to die down, away to Everton, and then a little while till we get back at home. The timing sucks.
Yeah.
The timing sucks. But you know what? Conte started this against Burnley last year and then got gagged and not told to say anything. Then he's come out swinging. And you know what? That interview that he gave, you could see the passion and the anger and the emotion in Conte saying what, and I'm going to say it, what Levy out people and everyone that I stand with have been saying for 15 years or more, or less, depending when your straw that broke the camel's back was. He's finally said it. Listen, we can all talk about the tactics and the boring passages of play and whatever. I can assure you, if Conte was given the players he actually wanted, his first choices or second choices, we might still be playing 3-4-3, but it may be a completely different situation. It may not. The football has been pathetic. Let's be serious, but the players are pathetic. As Ben says, he's the wrong manager for where we're going. If we'd had the correct owners in, glory days would happen. What he has done, I thank him for the bottom of my heart. Honestly, it is. I need to state what I said at the beginning again. What he has done is probably the biggest thing to happen under Daniel Levy's leadership, and that includes trophies, achievements, players.
Trophy.
Thank you. Trophy. Sorry. Oh, I was counting the Audi Cup and that Rangers one. I was trying to. No, trophy. Just thank you, Antonio. Wherever you go, I wish you success. I wish you a chairman that listens to you. And mate, Antonio Geezer. Thanks for doing what you did and trying to achieve greatness with us. But it was never going to happen. And it doesn't matter who is in charge. It could be Klopp and Guardiola tag team. It could be anything or anyone. But the same shit is going to happen. And why? This right here. Ben, over to you, sir.
Let's preface the point with Enoch out because, 23 years they've now owned this football club and we've won one trophy. I'm going to compliment them on building the infrastructure. I'm going to compliment them on putting the club in a spot where we can make money globally and we can have a global audience. But one thing I will absolutely slaughter them on is they have made Tottenham Hotspur into an entertainment venue. They have made Tottenham Hotspur into a football club that the fifth most important thing in the organisation is football. They do not care. They are property empire. They are Beyonce gigs. They are Formula One tracks under the stadium. They are everything other than a football organisation. And that is criminal. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club is now no longer football. It's a day out. It's meet people in the stadium, have a few drinks, go home, buy terrible, expensive food. They have no sense of community. They have no sense of love for the people that have got them there. The Tottenham Hotspur fans have been utterly superb. Every away game, they turn up. Whether it's in the cold in Sheffield, whether it's in the sunny parts of any part of the world, Tottenham Hotspur fans in there. Lyon in a blizzard, Tottenham Hotspur fans were there and magnificent. They do not care about the fan base. We are clients. We are legacy fans. We are anything other than adoring supporters of this great organisation. And that is sickening that we are now this part. They are the worst owners of a football team in the Premier League. And not because they make money. It's because they don't use what they have. They don't love their supporters. They see us as nothing. We are tourists to them. Like, I get asked on the regular, why don't I just give up my season ticket then? because they're just going to replace me with a tourist, and then they will have yes men around them. The whole point of having an organisation is you don't have yes men. You tell people what is wrong. Leicester's owners, we have a wonderful friend by the name of Wayne Holland, who's a great bloke. Big up.
Big up, Wayne.
Owners listen to their fans, and when they listen to them, because they are the most important people at an organisation, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a coffee shop, whether it is retail. Your customer is the most important people, and I'm going to act like a customer if they're going to treat me like a customer. We pay the highest prices for football in Europe and the world, yet they give us rubbish. Whether that's down to the managers they've picked, whether it's down to the recruitment, they are poor. One of the things I've been asking for is they separate football from business. I would be very happy. They wouldn't have to get out if they did that. You have a monetary board that organises the budget, and then they give it to a football board who does the football stuff. Absolutely fine with that. But they are control freaks. They want to do everything themselves, which is why it takes 8 weeks to sign Jed Spence, a player from the Championship. It's why they muck about with Lyon over £2 million for Hugo Lloris. It's why they muck about with contracts for players I won't say, just in case the information is not accurate. They want everything their own way, and that's not how football works. You've got to run it like a football club, and they don't run it like a football club. It's a good thing they make money. None of us, even me and you, Brian, who are probably, in the words of Levy Inners, evangelical Levy outers, we're happy for them to make money, but at least put football as a priority. And it's clear to us that they don't. Hence why you have an organisation as rotten as this one, where the boss and the employees are so chummy. There is no sense of professionalism. There is no sense of willingness to win. And that is the point of elite sports. And that is all down to this board and these owners. They have done some brilliant things for the football club, but when it comes to football, they are the worst.
Right, Ben, well said. Well said. So I'm going to go on this is probably what people have been waiting for, this part here. Let's be serious. So I'm going to start this with, for 15 years I've been saying this. For 15 years I've been seeing it. And obviously recently I have a platform to speak, whether it be on social media or obviously via YouTube channels, this being R1. And I get a lot of abuse throughout this time. A lot of abuse. Obviously that has changed now. You still get the odd ones, and like you said, the trolls and the people saying it. But how much longer? I keep hearing people say, oh, all I want to do is see us win a trophy before I die. I've got fucking 18, 19, 20-year-olds saying that.
Yep.
It's not going to happen under these owners. We've seen why. It doesn't matter what goes on, because these people don't listen, don't care, don't understand, don't appreciate what is going on at our football club. We are going through times right now where people are struggling to provide for their families, to give their kids a meal, to have a hot house and hot water and heating, and even going to the groceries. People are going scrimping and saving and trying to make ends meet. Yet we pay the highest price season ticket, the highest price kits. And what do we get in return? Nothing. We lose a game. What happens? Oh, now 50% off in the club shop, or 40%, or go get your Skywalk, or go get this. And enough. We have these sponsorships. Oh, of course, yeah, this is getting back into the club. Why are you so upset? Getting the money in is great for the club. Why don't you like the stadium being used? I love the stadium being used. Brilliant. Fill it up 365 days for all I care. Because then 365 days of money, every penny goes back into the club. I have been saying for the last week and a half now, there's a famous saying that the best place to hide things is in plain sight. And for the last, or especially under Conte's reign, this is exactly what this board has been doing right in front of your face. Our faces, everyone's faces. Whether you're Levy in, Levy out, Conte in, Conte out, players in, players out. It's right in front of your face. These people have no compassion, no empathy, no communication, no connection, no loyalty, no respect for the manager, the players, and most importantly, the fans. As you said, that's CRN. I went on Henry Wright's last show last week, and I said to people, what do you reckon the C stands for? And they all said, customer. But no. That C stands for client, because that's what you are to them. It couldn't be SRN, as in supporters reference number. It's C for client. Well, them upstairs are a C for something different, and I think you know where I'm going with that. 22 years, one trophy. 22 years of thinking you know better than football people. 22 years of lying to the fans. You can talk about the Villa press program note. Oh, we're going to play attacking football and go back to the official DNA of Tottenham Hotspur. Well, you've hired 4 defensive managers. You could go on to, we're going to let Paratici take over transfers. Sole responsibility. Jed Spence, Richarlison. Sole responsibility? I don't think so. 31 days to get a player that everyone knew you wanted on day one. Dan Juma, completely signed just in case Porro fucks up, so you don't have a window where, once again, Tottenham Hotspur have signed no one. You even start, and this is, when I say hiding things in plain sight, prime fucking example. We did a video on it, Ben, and I said it straight away when we did a reaction to the trust questions. When the very first one is, can you tell us about the immediate and long-term future and direction of this club? The very first thing that parasite says is, well, back in over Tottenham's underneath our ownership, we have qualified for Europe on 17 blah blah blah. In plain sight, you are asked about the future and present, and you are given the past. This ain't a Christmas carol. There are no 3 ghosts. You are Ebenezer Scrooge. You are bloody Ebenezer Scrooge. This has to stop. How many more managers, players, everything has to be thrown under the bus? And still today, there are people coming out, like you said, Ben. How can you do this when managers aren't listened to? Directors of football aren't listened to. Players are still here that managers have wanted out, but you can't sell them because you want too much money. And now we have 8 players out on loan that are coming back. That's our coming back that the manager doesn't want, and probably the future manager doesn't want. So what are you gonna do? Like you said, what does Arsenal, Manchester United? Manchester United hire Ten Hag. Hire Ten Hag. Spend 90 million on Anthony, an unknown player for the Premier League. Will he make it? But the manager wants him, and the manager trusts him, and the manager's had him before. He knows what he's talking about. Bang, in he comes. Martinez, same thing. And then they have the biggest problem, Ronaldo, who makes the millions in sponsorships, merchandise, kit sales. He's causing a problem. Get him out. Bang. Bang. Like you said, Arsenal, Aubameyang, Ozil. These players aren't, they're costing me, they're bad eggs. Okay, under 23's out. Not here. Not here. Because the chairman knows best. This keeps going on and on and on. And let's just remember, Ten Hag has been here, what? Since August. So we're looking at what? For 7 months. 7 months. And he's won as many trophies as Enoch. They're in the FA Cup quarter-final. They're in the next round of the Europa League, sorry. And they were with an outside chance of the league a few weeks ago, but obviously they've blown that. 7 months. They just need to win one more of those cups, which they probably will.
Yeah.
Especially with the way the FA Cup has fallen for them. And they've won more than Enoch. But apparently, Ten Hag doesn't show charisma. Didn't come across well in interviews. Well, you prick. Interviews for football managers are done on the pitch. That's why you approached him, because of what he was doing on the pitch, not what he was saying in the boardroom. There is a complete difference in that. But no, you didn't interview well, so let's not get him. What an absolute schmuck. The Ten Hag or other managers go into the board meetings that you have to discuss business projects and net profits and how we can achieve better business and get a higher... No, he doesn't. Because it's not what he bloody well does. So why do you think you have the audacity to say this shit? But yet again, we're going to go through this 18-month cycle again where the new manager comes in. What happens? We push reset. All of a sudden, Eric Dyer can defend. Hugo Lloris can pass the ball with his feet. Davinson Sanchez doesn't fall over a shadow. ENIC and Levy, you are rotten to the core. You are destroying this football club, which isn't a football club anymore. It's not a football club. It is a corporate entertainment business. And I don't care what anyone says. Time is up. Enough is enough. Your days are numbered. And I just hope Spurs fans are waking up now and saying, enough. Like I've said to people, there's straws on the camel's back that broke. Mine was Martin Jol. Ben, what was your straw that broke the camel's back?
Losing to Chelsea 3-0 3 times in a row.
There you go. So there was that. Other people were the Super League. Other people are when Poch got sacked. There's various other times. I don't care when the straw that broke the camel's back moment was. But hopefully people that hadn't had it yesterday. And next time when we protest, don't just say you're going to be there. Be there. Because this has to end. And that's all I've got to say on that matter. These bastards have to go. Agreed, Ben?
Yeah. Probably not on those words, but this organisation needs to change. It's now untenable for a lot of the fan base. Of course, apparently we're a minority. I don't care if we're a minority. We know how this organisation runs. And if they don't want to start running a football club like a football organisation, it's time we had a new approach. It's time we had a new strategy. And the best way of doing that is to change the ownership, in my opinion, to change everything from manager to director of football to ownership. Just get everything out, players, everything out. The great reset, even if we have to go down for it. We need to start acting like a football club again. And until we start doing that, we're just going to be going on the same spin dryer every time. And I am going to end my my monologue with, I adore Tottenham Hotspur, but a Tottenham Hotspur does not adore me. And I love that. That is a travesty in every single letter in that sentence. I love them. They don't love me. And that is the huge problem.
Yeah. And I'm just going to end with a few things like that, or a couple of things. One thing that I've been saying for a while now, and I don't care what heat I get for this. Said it after I walked out at halftime of the North London derby. I don't care about the formation. I don't care about the style of play. I don't care about passages of play. I don't care about the results. I don't care who is in the touchline. I don't care who the director of football is. I don't care what players sign new contracts or don't. I don't care what players come in and go. I care about one thing and one thing only, and that is this board getting the fuck out of our football club and we taking it back. Sending out a huge SOS, save our Spurs. And on that note, and as always, Levy out.
You are now about to witness the strength of street.
Bastard.